This is the podcast for lifestyle and design in Ottawa. Intimate stories from our guests, an opportunity to discover hidden gems, share and get advice, recommendations, and more. All designed to help you be the best you that you can be. Your host from OttawaDesigners.com, Sandria Blench.
You're on OttawaDesigners.com. We're here with Akash Sinha, who is the owner of the Dharma Developments Group. How are you today?
Good afternoon. I'm doing great, Sandria. How are you?
Great, thank you. So can you tell me a little bit about what is the Dharma Developments?
I just got to do the proverbial turn off the damn phone. Apologize.
It's happened to me on podcasts before.
Okay, let's just throw that away. Literally.
So let's start over. We'll make it easy for you, John, so you don't have to edit that. All right, I'll start over.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hi, welcome to OttawaDesigners.com. We're here with Akash Sinha, who is the owner of Dharma Developments. How are you?
Good afternoon, Sandria. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit more about Dharma Developments?
Sure. Right now, what Dharma Developments functions as is a construction management company. We focus on custom homes for clients who know exactly what it is that they're looking for, or a very strong idea of what it is that they're looking for, but just need that professional guidance to help execute it. Our company started off as a land development company back in 2004. Okay. So we've been around for about 16 years. And then over the last 16 years, we've learned a few tricks along the way that we're happy to share with our clients.
Amazing. And do you focus everywhere in Ottawa? Do you go outside of Ottawa?
Most of our current projects are more in the infill kind of areas, okay, where people are tearing things down and wanting to put up something new, or taking an existing building and updating it in various ways. But we have done projects out in rural areas as well too. Okay. Each project lends itself to a different kind of challenge, and it's always fun to get into that.
Nice. And do you have any special favorite projects that you're working on right now?
Every project I'm working on is my favorite project.
Oh, that's a good answer. Very diplomatic. Even I have favorites.
Yeah. I mean, we're always grateful for the clients we're working with at any given moment. So that's where we try to focus our attention.
Excellent. So as we were speaking, we have a few points from your assistant that I'd love to discuss further. So one, especially during COVID in these times, everything is very hectic for people. Mental health is a big issue. People are changing their careers. People are getting new careers, getting new hobbies, and all sorts of things. So what have you adapted and changed during COVID times?
Good question. Just before I wanted to make a little amendment. The person who'd sent that was Katie Sinha. She's more than just my assistant. She's my wife.
Excellent.
And co-owner in the business. I just wanted to
Fantastic.
Yeah. So the two of us have it's been an interesting
this is your
adaptation.
Baby.
Sorry?
This is your baby, your project.
Yeah. We started this together as our family business. We had actually adapted into a work from home based business about 4 or 5 years ago. So we had already been working in that capacity because we wanted to focus on smaller projects and give each client due attention. A smaller model worked for us in that way. So that was a good thing for us already. We didn't have to adapt in that way. Okay. Things that were interesting was our usual ways of marketing and branding and getting out there. In this business, I feel the personal relationship and getting to know people is the best, right? We have gone through the different kinds of marketing companies. We have transitioned marketing back when we actually took out ads in the Citizen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That tells you how old we've been around.
I feel you.
Into understanding search engine optimization. So there's always new things to learn about marketing, but ultimately we find like personal one-on-one interaction is the best. In COVID times, we don't get a chance to do that as much.
Not as much. No.
So I think opportunities like this, and it's kind of funny that we haven't met previously because we seem to know so many people in common.
Absolutely.
But these kind of opportunities are something to just get more comfortable with and finding new ways to engage with people and share what we do and learn about people as well.
So how do people reach you if they're looking for you online right now?
Online a lot these days.
What's your website for them to get on?
But our website is dharmadevelopments.com.
Okay.
And from there, I would suggest people could check out our Instagram page
Yeah.
and our Facebook page. There we update those on a weekly basis with progress shots of things we're working on, tips and tricks that you might find useful as you're planning your project. And then we also have a house link where you can see some pictures of past projects we're working
Very
on.
cool.
There you'll see some of the things that we're proud about what we have done so
The
far.
before and afters, people love those, all those pictures
Yeah.
they love. So what makes your company different than other companies?
Well, you got us in it first and
Of
foremost,
course.
right? No other company has that. So
That's true.
well, yeah.
That is
What we like to bring to it is that really bespoke one-on-one service. We keep a very limited number of clientele in a year. We're not trying to jam pack our schedules. And that really helps us focus on the attention that each particular client needs. And what we also bring is a bit of creativity, but not a creativity that you may be used to. I know you're quite a creative person with
Yes.
your skill set.
Absolutely.
Our creativity comes in problem solving and trying to meet the client's needs in ways that may not be readily apparent. And most predominantly, those needs are around budget and schedule. That's what, as a construction manager, what we want to be able to do with them. And so they'll
Excellent.
come to professionals like yourself and get those great visions and yeah, I know
And
that you
you'll
help
pro-
create them. Yeah, the love of what we want to get into.
Yeah.
But to get to that now is a journey.
Exactly.
And so we're a guide on that journey.
That's amazing. That's exactly what most people need is a correct budget, timelines, managing the sub trades, making sure that those are being handled. That's the stress of usually a renovation. So
Mm-hmm.
now there was some other great points that I wanted to go over. So adaptability is a
Mm-hmm.
huge thing in these times and accepting that there's chaos and
Mm-hmm.
there's different things. Can you talk to me more a little bit about adaptability?
Ooh, learning to thrive in chaos, if that's possible. And I think entrepreneurs are a little bit lucky that way. We willingly just throw ourselves into these chaotic situations where we know this much about and swim uphill to upstream to learn this much more. So, and I think our clients come to us because they are wanting to have that change, right? They're looking to transition from the current state of their life right now into another. So there's so much adaptability required just to do that. It's always a great learning experience for us to learn about our clients, to see how they communicate with each other and how their communication has changed with each other over the course of a project. So adaptability means just like not being tied to the beliefs of where you think things are and being open to the possibilities of where things can go.
Yeah, absolutely. Change is huge right now, and people really need to understand that flexibility and change is a good thing, and not being scared of seeing a different perspective in business, in their home life.
Mm-hmm.
Homes need new things now.
Mm-hmm.
So how does forward thinking help us during these COVID times?
Yeah. How does that? Well, it's hard, right? How much forward can you think now? Because there's
absolutely. What is the plan? Can you make a plan?
I'm waiting for Christmas Day, Rudolph with a laser out of his red nose, and like if that happens,
zap the COVID, zap. There you go.
Everything is so unpredictable these days. You got to learn a certain amount of self-sustainability. I think a lot of the previous mentality that we had about charging ahead and wanting the best and the biggest has changed. We see a lot of our clients that come with a lot of forward thinking in the sense of the kind of communities that they want to be a part of, that has sustainable features, that has self-reliance and energy conservation. The challenge that we find with a lot of these ideas is those ideas don't fit very well within the regulatory structure that we have with the provinces and the cities, because it's their job to oversee how communities are built.
Yeah.
But they have a certain model, and forward-thinking people don't necessarily fit in that model. So I think that's going to be an interesting discussion we see over the next little while. I think these COVID times are going to really bring that self-sustenance model, greenhouses, and feeding your own little community, those kinds of ideas, I think are going to be very strongly explored and executed.
So for your clients, when they're looking to go green, what are some things that you can suggest to them that they can easily do around their house and they can incorporate that won't break the bank?
Yeah. It depends on if it's a renovation project or if it's a new construction. So I'll talk about new construction because that's the easiest. So when it's a renovation project, there's just so many parameters.
Oh yeah.
New construction, it boils down to some very simple fundamentals. Is like really good insulation. Yeah. Right. Just keep your heat within yourself, and really good air tightness. Yeah. So that things aren't leaking. And then the flip side to that is a good emphasis now on mechanical systems to make sure you got good flow of air, right? We know respiratory health is a big deal, right? Huge. And it's important for people to recognize that that a home isn't just like a shelter anymore. It's a machine. Right? People are living within a machine that gives them life. So they have things programmed with their sound system and their heating and lighting. All of these are now part of an integrated brain for a lot of people that they can operate from their phones. So that's
absolutely,
just an
smart homes. Yeah.
So now that people have that understanding of homes as a machine to live in, I think that will help people understand the structure of it. So it starts with the fundamentals of having a good cladding system and keeping the heat in, and then having a good mechanical system so that health and circulation of air is there. And then we get into the energy conservation things. Solar will get to be more and more prevalent. Geothermal is a technology that doesn't work very well on single family homes, but in group scenarios, it can be explored a little bit further. So I think one of the great things, in the necessity of invention, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So now how is manifesting abundance working in these COVID times? Can you talk to me about that?
How do we manifest abundance when we don't have access to all the things that we used to have access to? Well, abundance is all around. I think it's a matter of us recognizing what abundance means to each of us. Yeah.
Which is so different per family. Abundance means such a broad word based on who you're speaking to.
Yeah. Let me ask you, how do you feel abundant in life these days?
You know, to be honest with you, for me, I feel like I have gained abundance during these COVID times because it's really narrowed down what's important, what's unnecessary, what can be filtered out of my life, and what needs to remain a focus. Family has always been, I'm lucky, I'm blessed. I have my children at home and I have my mother living with us. So the separation, I never endured it as roughly as some people did. So my heart felt very abundance and full because I've been able to fill it doing a lot of good during these times, helping a lot of people. So I feel that for me, that's where it's filled. And we've been okay, but other people feel it in completely different ways. How about you?
Yeah, well, I don't want to just steal your answer, but pretty much that. In the sense that, I mean, well, our house certainly got abundantly full. Like as I mentioned, we've already been used to a work from home office scenario, but now we had our three coworkers, all between the ages of 9 and 12, joining us for the last 7 months.
Hilarious. Yeah, right? Absolutely. New assistants.
So sometimes an assistance, sometimes a distraction, but a welcome one, right? I mean, it did change our relationship and made us aware of the abundance that was right in front of us that we don't always appreciate, but there it is. Oh my God, it's beautiful, right? So maybe just to finish your point, so maybe it's not even about manifesting it, but just recognizing what's there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point, is recognizing what's there. And
Yeah.
during these COVID times, how have you dealt with mental health? Because I mean, it's as
Mm,
happy as you
yeah.
are, you know,
Yeah.
these moments come and go, and sometimes you do need peace, sometimes you need quiet, you know, there's chaos in the world. How have you been doing?
Well, you asked to share personally about it, so I thought we could do this interview in my studio. This is
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
So
love
this
it.
music, yeah, music is my therapy. Always has been. Um, when we decided to make our shift in business, one of the fundamental reasons for doing that was because I wanted to nurture the other side of myself, my brain, right? Um, we do our job, our business, construction management, which is very regimented.
Yeah,
It has to have contracts and spreadsheets all in place.
absolutely.
Um, so when I get to do music, I get to be completely chaotic, and that feeds each other. So when I have an avenue for chaos, then I'm much better at my orderly job, and having structure helps me actually produce and be creative better. There's an output to it rather than just
Absolutely. So
creative
having a
meandering.
hobby. And now
Yeah.
as far as health and fitness, obviously everyone, you look like you're in great shape. How has COVID affected you? Were you a gym goer and then not anymore? How are you staying healthy?
Okay, so I do have one thing to brag about over this COVID. I feel pretty excited about. So pre-COVID, I'd always been working on enhancing my fitness, but pre-COVID, I remember having a pretty annoying knee problem. Like as soon
Okay.
as I started running for any significant amount of distance, I'd start pain and I have to hobble home. And so over the last 7 months, I've been working on it along with just home training, weight training, and lately I've been able to go for sprints, 800-meter, like little good hefty pace jogs, come
Good
home
for
and get a
you.
workout in, and no knees
Good
problems. I was
for
like, wow.
you. Good for you. That's awesome. And what
So
about healthy eating? Have you guys been able to not get that extra 10 COVID pounds, like the freshman 10 that everyone gets?
yeah, well, I'm very lucky that way. Katie is very focused on feeding her family
That's amazing.
very nutritiously. So it's something I luckily don't have to think about. I don't
Nice.
want to brag about it,
That
not say
helps
too.
if it's family, if the whole
Yeah,
family works together. I find that really helps.
yeah,
So
yeah. We
that
are
sounds
cohesive
really
that way.
good.
So
That's a
yeah.
family unit is so important. Have you found that you've had good connections with different organizations in the city that you work with commonly with your group, with Dharma groups?
Yeah. Which kind of organizations? Not for
So
profits, you mean, or?
non-for-profits that you get involved in, that you guys are
Hmm.
involved in for non-for-profits, for charity, that you guys
Hmm.
petition causes for?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, right when COVID hit, I pulled out the guitar, part of my music therapy, creativity, and did a couple of fundraisers for Youth Services Bureau,
Oh, amazing.
organization that is just near and dear to my heart forever.
Absolutely.
We did one for Cornerstone Women's Shelter, also a wonderful organization. Um, we should probably do another one. I haven't done one for a while. I volunteer
I have one
regularly.
for you.
Oh, tell me,
I
do.
will. I will.
Okay,
I'll tell you about it after.
okay, awesome. I regularly volunteer with House of Paint. I sit on their board. So
Mhm.
they're an arts organization that has really transitioned from having a festival to being an online thing. So it's been neat to watch their growth. And what's great about them is like they're turning into an organization that actually funds other artists. So they're
Wow,
helping bring more creativity and feeding our artists. So it's
that's
kind of fun,
incredible.
yeah, to be
That's
part of
really
that.
cool. So are you ready for the fun part of this interview where I
Oh
ask?
gosh. Okay. Yeah.
All
I
right.
thought we were having fun. Okay.
We
Make it more
are,
fun.
we are. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Favorite street in Ottawa and why?
Spark Street. Yeah. Just to be able to walk down Spark Street right as you make it to the end of by the NAC is really nice.
Very cool. Favorite restaurants? You can pick more than
Oh,
one if you want.
well, I'll tell you just the last one we actually went to, if nothing else, because it was just a great dining experience, was at Kin Vineyards. And then they had one of their food truck things going on. And so that was just a really nice dining experience. I enjoyed that.
Oh, nice. And
Yeah.
red or white wine?
White wine.
White
Yeah,
wine.
for sure.
And your most embarrassing moment that you can say, and trust me, we've had like some horrendous ones.
Oh God, a lot. Oh, embarrassing. I, I mean, this is on social media already, so it can't be that embarrassing. But my kids caused me to put myself into pretty weird situations. So I had to participate in a dance recital once, and I got to play Mrs. Ginger on stage. So
Amazing. I need to see that.
big poofy wigs and nice rosy makeup with a big poofy skirt.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Your wife must have loved it. Does she have a video and can I see it?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, I'm sure we can make that public. There's one thing as you get to be a dad, your shame levels just go down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. This is Akash Sinha from Dharma Developments on OttawaDesigners.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Sandra. Talk to you soon.